Hello everyone, welcome to another session in biochemistry. Here we are going to deal with the messenger RNA. We'll be describing the structure, the different types, the differences between them. Okay, so messenger RNA, it is the most heterogeneous RNAs in abundance, size, and stability. Uh, Actually, it is also known as template RNA or complementary RNA or informational RNA. It is because the mRNAs, they function as messengers that convey the information in a gene on the DNA or the chromosome to the protein synthesizing machinery, that is the ribosome. Okay, so messenger RNA or the mRNA is a intermediary molecule. Okay, it is actually conveys the message or carry the message from the nucleus into the protein synthesizing machinery which is present in the cytoplasm. Whatever information is coded on the DNA or in a gene, it is being uh, conveyed to the ribosome where the protein is synthesized through the mRNA. Okay, and here the mRNA serves as a template on which a specific sequence of amino acids, it is polymerized to form a specific protein molecule. So the first step, it is actually forming a complementary mRNA from a gene, and that process is known as transcription. Then we have as whatever the message is coded on the mRNA, based upon that, a chain of amino acid, a specific sequence of amino acid is getting polymerized to form a specific protein molecule. And that process is known as translation. So the whole thing is done if sufficient amount of mRNA is produced from the template DNA. So it is a template for protein synthesis. The mRNA, it constitutes to about 5%, 3 to 5% of the total cellular RNA. And as already mentioned, they are highly heterogeneous in with respect to the size. You can see here, it almost ranges from 500 to 6,000 bases just in the bacterium Escherichia coli. And the stability, it is highly unstable, and as we have already mentioned in the previous presentation, it get like hydrolyzed by alkali. It is a transient molecule based upon the information coded on the mRNA, the nucleotide sequences on the mRNA, amino acid sequence, a complementary amino acid sequence is produced, right? And once sufficient amount of translation process has taken place on a mRNA, it is completely degraded down, broken down into the constituent nucleotides. Okay, and it becomes a part of the what you call the cytoplasm. Fine. So it is highly transient molecule. Uh, Coming to the synthesis part, how the mRNA is synthesized. A specific part of the DNA, it gets transcribed to produce the RNA, and that particular part of the DNA which act as a transcriptional unit, okay, where the transcription goes on, that particular part of DNA, it is known as transcriptome. Okay, during the transcription process, it is not that the whole DNA gets transcripted at the same time. Okay, it is actually a part by part process. So a specific part of the DNA which undergoes transcription at a particular time to produce a particular protein, that becomes a transcriptome. Okay, and the transcription, it takes place with the help of the RNA polymerase 2. Okay, it is known as the RNA polymerase 2. Um, the whole process, it is known as a transcription. Okay, transcription, or it is a DNA dependent RNA synthesis. So it is based upon what you call base sequence on the DNA, the mRNA synthesis. So it is actually DNA dependent. The RNA synthesis is what is known as a transcription. Okay, now the transcription occurs inside the nucleus in the case of eukaryotes, and in the case of prokaryotes, it is in the general cytoplasm itself, in the region known as the nucleoid. Okay, during the process of transcription, what happens is the double-stranded DNA at the region of transcriptome, the double-stranded nature is disrupted. Okay, so in the double-stranded DNA, a particular part may act as a transcriptome, and at this particular transcriptome region, the two strands which were bonded by hydrogen bonds, the hydrogen bonds break and the two strands get separated. Okay, and one of the strands, one of the separated strands, it will act as a template for the synthesis of a complementary nucleotide chain, which will later form the mRNA. Okay, so based upon the base sequences present on this particular template strand, the strand of the DNA, complementary nucleotide sequence is formed, and this complementary nucleotide sequence it later forms a mRNA. Okay, so the strand on the transcriptome or the strand on the of the DNA, which actually act as a template for the synthesis of the complementary RNA mRNA strand, that strand is known as the template strand, or it is otherwise known as antisense strand. Okay, the other strand is known as, or the non-template strand is known as sense strand. Why it is known as sense strand? Because the base sequence present on the sense strand is just the same as that present on the new mRNA produced, newly formed mRNA. Okay, so the base sequence on the mRNA is just the same or identical to that on the sense strand or the non-template strand, or what is known as the non-coding strand. Okay, now, so this process is known as a transcription. Okay, DNA giving rise to mRNA. Right now, this mRNA, once it is mature, it will move to the cytoplasm in the case of eukaryotes, where the transcription take place. Okay, the newly formed mRNA, uh, by the process of transcription, it is known as mRNA transcript. Okay, that is mRNA produced by the process of transcription from the DNA. It is known as a mRNA transcript. Okay, just like what happens with the transcriptome, that is only a part of the DNA is getting transcribed at a time. So similarly, mRNA, the specific part of the mRNA that contains the information for the protein synthesis, it is known as a cistron. Okay, so it is not that the complete mRNA contains information for the protein synthesis. It is not like the complete base of the base sequence present on the mRNA is completely getting translated to protein, but only a specific part of the mRNA contains the information needed for the synthesis of protein, and that part, it is known as the cistron. So cistron is a part of the mRNA transcript. Okay, it is not the complete mRNA, but it is a part of the mRNA transcript which is used for the synthesis of protein during the process of translation. Right, so it is known as a cistron. Now, what happens is, in the case of, this is a prokaryotic mRNA, this is a structure of prokaryotic mRNA. Okay, so this a single stretch of mRNA, it is produced from a single transcriptome. You can see over here, this mRNA contains sequences which can be translated to more than one set of proteins. You can see the three different kinds of proteins are translated from the same mRNA. Okay, so each set of the sequence on the mRNA, this is a single part. Okay, so this part of the mRNA which gets translated into a specific protein, it is known as a cistron. This is again another cistron. Okay, a second cistron which is which gets translated to produce completely different protein over here, the protein 2. Okay, so this is, so here this prokaryotic mRNA contains 3 cistrons. I hope it is clear. But on the other hand, eukaryotic mRNA contains only a single cistron. Okay, so we can name it as prokaryotic mRNA being polycistronic. Okay, it is polycistronic. While eukaryotic mRNA, it is monocistronic. In the sense, it is eukaryotic mRNA, it is monocistronic in the sense it gets transcribed by, it codes for a single kind of a protein. Okay, so that is about the what you call the prokaryotic and eukaryotic mRNA. So what are the other differences in the eukaryotic mRNA, and how we can differentiate prokaryotic and eukaryotic mRNA? And the eukaryotic mRNA, it also, and once it is transcribed, it will undergo a post-transcriptional processing to develop into mature mRNA. And what are the different steps in that, we'll be discussing in the next presentation. Okay, thank you.